So we began the hour with Senator Lisa Murkowski live explaining why she's alone among Republicans in opposing Brett Kavanaugh's nomination or confirmation. Now, what his accuser, Christine Blasey Ford, is thinking. Our Dana Bash has been talking to her attorneys. She joins us now. What have you learned about how Professor Ford feels about this now near certain confirmation?
Well, she's not happy, as you can imagine, but she is already, it appears to be, trying to get back some semblance of normalcy to her life. And I talked to her lawyers about that and several other things pertaining to Kavanaugh. Have you heard any regrets from her about coming out the way she did?
I don't think she has any regrets. I think she feels like she did the right thing. And this was what she wanted to do, which was provide this information to the committee so they could make the best decision possible. And I think she still feels that that was the right thing to do. So I don't think she has any regrets.
President Trump, I'm sure you saw, mocked your client's testimony at a rally in Mississippi on Tuesday night. The crowd, who are obviously big Trump supporters, applauded. Did you speak to Professor Ford? Did she see that? And what was her reaction?
She did. She was upset by it. It was very hurtful, as it would be to any woman, any survivor, who had the courage to come forward, only to be mocked and belittled by anyone, really, but certainly by the President of the United States. It was very upsetting. It was very hurtful.
So one of the things that has gotten Republicans really enraged is the fact that during her testimony, Professor Ford told the committee that she wasn't clear that there was an offer to you, her legal team, from the committee to have the committee fly out to California and have a private conversation with her, interview with her, as opposed to flying her for a public hearing. Is that true?
No. We, as her counsel, informed her of all options made available to us by the committee. We showed her all of the correspondence. And what they were offering was to send staffers to California to interview her. Dr. Ford wanted to speak to the committee members themselves. And I think what you saw in the hearing was that Dr. Ford got a little confused and thought that Senator Grassley was suggesting that he himself would have come to California, which was not what he had offered at all.
The allegation that they're making very blatantly is that she has lawyers, you two, who are Democrats, who wanted to have a public spectacle.
Dana, that is such a ludicrous accusation. We've been listening to it, and we have not wanted to respond to it because it's such a distraction and deflection. Our client was advised of every single option given to her by the committee. She saw every single communication. She's a smart woman. She wanted to testify before the Senate Judiciary Committee, not speak to members of his staff.
If Judge Kavanaugh becomes Justice Kavanaugh, or even if he stays on the federal bench he's on now, would Professor Ford like impeachment proceedings to begin?
Professor Ford has not asked for anything of the sort. What she did was to come forward and testify before the Senate Judiciary Committee and agree to cooperate with any investigation by the FBI. And that's what she sought to do here.
So no, she's not going there on impeachment?
No.
She does not want him to be impeached?
No.
It is interesting to her. I mean, you sort of had to kind of pin her down on it, but that Ford said she would not want Kavanaugh to be impeached.
So what they're trying to get across is that she didn't come at this from the point of view of a Democrat or, frankly, of somebody who was out to get Brett Kavanaugh. That was, I think, what they were trying to explain by answering it that bluntly and saying she wouldn't want him to be impeached. She just wanted to do her civic duty, which is what she said. They repeated it again today, and make sure the senators knew that this is something that she says she experienced with Brett Kavanaugh and have that be a factor into their decision on whether he should be on the Supreme Court.
Also, the fact that she was mocked by President Trump just days ago, did you get any impression she wants to engage with him or his supporters, or does she just want to go back to her former life?
The latter. The definite impression that I got is that she wants to try to get her life back. In fact, her lawyer said to me separately that she is hoping at some point to be able to go back to her home, which they believe is not yet safe to do that, go back to teaching. She, of course, is a professor, go back to her regular life with her kids and not engage on a political level. Obviously, she could very easily be a political icon and she could lead a charge, and that very much does not seem like what she wants to do. She appears to want to maybe take at least in the short term after the Clarence Thomas situation, the road of Anita Hill and just kind of lay low.